Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the Street Fighter the Movie playthrough Let's Play video.
Round 1.
And now I'm actually versing Cammy. Now this stage, to me, when I first saw this stage, it actually made me more think of the original Street Fighter 2 Ken stage, because if you recall correctly, in Ken's stage in the original Street Fighter 2, you would always see, like, the boats in the background, and it would play Ken's theme in the background. But, it's another scene that was, like, pretty correctly from the film, because there's a lot of boats and stuff in the film, and then there was, like, piers, like you see here in the film as well. The only thing that really annoys me about how they did, the Player 1 and Player 2 camis in this as compared to the arcade version is, in the arcade version, all they did was, instead of having her be, like, her skin color's a bit more red for Player 2, in the arcade version, if you recall correctly from my playthrough, I'm honestly not sure if I had a Cami versus Cami match in there, but in the arcade version, all they did was, for the Player 2 Cami, they just made her leotard blue, which I just thought worked a lot better than just making Cami's skin color just, like, redder, and then making her leotard a little darker, which really didn't differentiate them all that much. I even found myself getting confused which actual Cami I was when I was playing the game.
Versus Ken.
Okay, now we're versing Ken here, of course, who is played by Damien Chapa. This is another one of those strange stages which actually goes back to the carnival, which Balrog, E. Honda, and Chun-Li were performing in when they were undercover in the film. And of course Ken just like Ryu, Ken did have his outfit in the film, so it is kind of nice that he had an outfit in the film that was very similar to his actual Street Fighter outfit in the game. But I do admit, when I was facing Ken a few times when I was first playing this game, I did actually lose quite a few times, because he can be cheap, and he does subscribe to the whole the computer pummels you while in the corner thing, which is what he's doing right now. He's just pulling off every special move he can to beat me up while I'm in the corner. That's one thing you always have to watch out for in fighting games. The AI likes to pull off the I'm gonna pummel you in the corner and totally destroy you strategy, which I always hate in games. Although it's not nearly as bad as the AI tries to knock you out of the ring AI like in Soul Calibur 4. That I definitely hate more than the computer pummels you in the corner AI.
Get on the rail! Get on the rail! Get on the rail!
But of course, well, one of the things I really didn't like, a lot of people probably would like the redone voices, but personally I like the ones that were done in the arcade because they sounded more authentic to the actors in the film. Although these voices are good because they sound more authentic to the characters in the game. But in my opinion, there's just a little bit lacking from them that the arcade had that these voices don't have. They just sound a bit shallow, in my opinion, compared to the ones in the arcade, which just sounded more real because they were done by that actual actor. Nobody can be such a bad fighter. Remember that, Ken. You just lost so bad to me, even though you beat me once.
Next fight.
And next up we have E. Honda, who's actually played by Peter T1 Sopo, I think is how you say it. That's just a really long name he has. And E. Honda's costume was tweaked just a little bit. I think toward the end of the film he had similar to what he's wearing right now. Most of the film he was just wearing regular clothes because he was just part of Chun-Li's reporter team. Now this is one of those stages that when I look at it I'm thinking, this would be like more fitted for someone like Dalcium or someone in the original game, because it has more of an Indian feel than an E. Honda Japanese feel. Personally, what I thought would have been cool is if they, for the movie, they tried to recreate the character stages but made them look more realistic. But of course, that probably would have just taken way too much. And one thing I warn everyone about, when Ihan jumps up like that, you better not be anywhere close to him, because he hits you pretty easily with that thing where he jumps up and he lands his ass on you. See, I got hit by it again, because I didn't know it would hit me so close. But at least the AI in this game isn't nearly as cheap as the AI in the original Super Street Fighter 2 or even Street Fighter 2 game. They would spam his quick slap so much that at some points it would almost become unplayable. It would be so prominent. And touching back on the voices a little bit, for the Japanese voice actors who came in and did these voices, I thought they were done decently well. But of course, they still sound a little different compared to the ones in the original game. But they all fit the characters pretty well. They're not nearly as bad as, like, one of the voices that I thought was terribly bad in the arcade version was Zangief, because, like, if you watched the Street Fighter, the movie main review that I did, when you hear that, that actually came when you inserted your coin, that was the sound that Zangief made when he did his lariat, which, in my opinion, did not fit Zangief at all. It just sounded like they were like, oh, we have to make Zangief sound tough. Hey, guy over there, make a sound. And then he just did, and that's what was used. But that's just what it sounded like to me. And of course, more black and white photos there.
Next fight.
Moving on, here comes Zangief himself, who we were just talking about, who is played by Andrew Bryanarski. Bryanarski, I think it is, actually. Another thing I found about Zangief compared to his video game counterpart is, sure, he's pretty muscular, but the thing that the game character had over the real actor is he was just a bit more bulky than the real actor was. But of course, you know, they can make a cartoon character as bulky as they want, but finding an actual man who matches that was really hard. So honestly, Andrew here was really close to what Zangief looked like.
You win!
So he was a good stand-in for the animated character. And of course, as I had mentioned earlier, this stage is strange as well. You're just kind of like in a woodshed. I don't know why you'd be fighting Zangief in a woodshed. It would be a little bit more fitting if this were like in Bison's hideout or something, and it was like one of the rooms in the hideout where people actually fight Zangief. That's one thing I always hated about Zangief in Street Fighter, is he always had all these crazy throws that he could so easily kill you with. That if you weren't careful, like, one throw could take out a quarter to a half of your life. Which has always annoyed me about Zangief, and that's one thing I always tell all Street Fighter players. If you're fighting against Zangief, stay away from him. Try to do moves that are gonna hit him quick and you can easily retreat from, because if you stay too close to Zangief for too long, you're going to only be thrown by him, which, as I had mentioned, just takes out way too much health for your own good. I always enjoyed Cammy's throws because they were quick and they really did some good damage to your characters. And on the subject of throws, I'm very happy to see, in Capcom taking the reins off of Incredible Technologies, it's very nice to see that whole throw counter thing I was complaining about in the main review to be taken away, because that was really just annoying, that you'd throw someone and 9 out of 10 times they would actually end up countering your throw. Now when that actually happened, I thought I was done for, but that didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it would. That fire punch he does looks kind of scary, so I wouldn't want to be hit by that either. In Super Street Fighter 2, when you say 5-hit combo, the 5 actually looks like an S, and I always thought it said shit combo. I thought that'd be really cool. So that's the end of the Zangief fight. Let's see who's coming up next.